Welcome to the first Sunday video update of 2024. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the J Bear. Today's date is Sunday, January 7th, 2024. Thanks for stopping by. Joining me off camera this week is my dad
Hey,
over here, and then Amy is sitting. Um, can you see her? You can see her hand right there, right? Perfect. So this is the first Sunday video update, the first live stream of the new year. I'm so glad you could join me. The chat log is open if you want to come in and say hey. I already had someone come in to wish me a happy new year. I don't remember the name right off. Chewing off my toenail. That's the name of the YouTube channel that said happy new year. Well, happy new year to you too, chewing off my toenail. That's a funny name for a YouTube channel, but nonetheless, happy new year to you as well. Thanks for stopping by and wishing me a happy new year. New Year's Eve was actually quite interesting. Um, it wasn't, I figured that it would be a bit dismal and depressing because it's the first New Year's without my mom being here. But actually, opening up the new year wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was actually optimistic that this would be a good year and that the year would start off on the right foot, and it has, I think. I haven't had any issues, not big issues with anybody yet. However, I did get some fan mail that I'm gonna talk about here in the next little while. Yeah, I call it fan mail because that's exactly what it is. It's fan mail. Um, I hope that that light, it looks like it's a little too bright, but I don't know. I don't think it is. I can adjust it.
so I'm gonna turn this one on.
No, 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 no. You don't have to turn any light on. Let's see if I can maybe dim it a little bit. Might well that's fine. It'll be fine. Um, so Dad, how have you been?
Good, good.
Great.
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
My leg hasn't been bothering me. I take my medicine. My leg hasn't been bothering that much, Jared. Aching and
Good. Amy, she's over here hacking up a
fall.
how have you been?
Down sick.
Down sick. I'm drinking a cup of coffee today out of my lucky Michigan State University coffee cup that I got from Five Below in Saginaw. This is my third, fourth cup of coffee,
And I'm only on my first.
which is fine.
Got the last.
So there's actually some interesting things I want to talk about today, but before I get to, because Dad and I had a conversation at the kitchen table yesterday, and we were discussing this prior to me going live, and we decided that we're going to have that conversation. But before I get to that, well, just one second. We'll get to that, but I got some fan mail, and I call it fan mail because this letter came from a narcissist who lives in Linden, Virginia, and it's a veiled threat. And I did talk about this in a recent Daily Rant recording, and I kind of talked about it a little bit in one of my open thought videos that I've been uploading. I've been uploading multiple of those videos, but I'm going to read this letter to you so that way you know that this is legit. I'm not telling tales out of school. Someone actually sent this to me. It's certified mail. And I guess it's a cease and desist letter from a nonprofit organization and a guy who has made veiled threats against me. And he told me that if I continue to talk about him or his nonprofit organization, whether it be directly or indirectly, he's going to contact his legal team. Well, call him. I mean, it's Sunday. You might have to call him tomorrow, but so this is the certified letter I got in the mail, and it was delivered on the 4th, 3 days ago. So I think 3 days ago, that was Thursday, I believe. Yes, it was Thursday. So I'm going to read this to you, and if anybody uh, in the chat room, whatever, is watching this, kind of tell me what you think about this. It says, Mr. Fuller. Oh, by the way, it says RE, cease and desist for harassment, which it's only harassment when someone is challenging you in your garbage, by the way. But it says, Mr. Fuller, I love being called Mr. Fuller. That's just so awesome.
How often do you get it?
Yeah, not often. Usually it's hey dickhead, but Mr. Fuller, I'll settle on that. But anyway, it says, Mr. Fuller, this letter serves as notice to you to immediately cease and desist all harassing activities against and towards me, including but not limited to contacting my family, friends, as well as the nonprofit organization followers, donors, and or families being served. Discussing nonprofit organization and other personal information about me and or my family on your YouTube channel and other social media channels. I've only ever talked about the nonprofit organization on this channel. Sending unsolicited and harassing emails to me or any member of the nonprofit organization team. Making false claims about the nature and purpose of the nonprofit organization. Okay, well, your actions kind of speak for themselves, but continuing, it says, your actions are unwanted, inappropriate, aggressive, annoying, threatening, and have become unbearable to me. Unbearable. Oh, unbearable, shaking tremors, you know. Your actions also infringe upon my right to remain free from harassment. As a result of your harassment, I have suffered, according to this guy, substantial harm to the nonprofit foundation, emotional and physical stress for my team, family, friends, and the families we serve. If you do not cease and desist the harassment, I will be forced to take appropriate legal action against you and will seek all available damages and remedies. Any further communication from you will be routed directly to my legal team. Sincerely, John A. Narcissist, director of the nonprofit organization. And on the bottom, he says, this is a second letter, so you know I am serious. Well, so I'm going to pick this apart again. And my voice crackles because I'm excited. I'm not offended. I'm not intimidated. I don't feel like, oh my God, I better shut up about this guy. So I'm going to dissect this one more time, and I'm not going to, do it in a daily rant, because in a daily rant, it's kind of hard to, you heard what I said, but I'd rather do it here in a live stream. So this letter serves as notice to you to immediately cease and desist all harassing activities. Well, listen, as I pointed out in a daily rant and in an open video, your nonprofit organization, according to the federal government, is considered and viewed as a business. Me talking about a nonprofit organization on YouTube or anywhere is no different than leaving a review on Google, Facebook, or anywhere, even in the paper. It doesn't matter. I can say whatever I want as long as I'm not making up things that would actually be a detriment to your business. I can say you're awful. I can say you're lousy. I can call you a narcissist. I can say that your nonprofit organization is garbage. I can say whatever I want, as long as I'm not making up something that would not, if I'm not being extreme and saying that, something is happening when it isn't, then there's no issue. Contacting your family, which I have never contacted your family, just you. Your friends, well, your friends would have to make their own separate case. You can't defend them. You can't speak for them. You're not their legal representative. You're just a CEO of a nonprofit organization. You are not their legal representative. You can't represent them like that. As well as the nonprofit organization, which I don't contact any of your team members from the nonprofit organization. The donors, well, I can talk to anybody I want, essentially, whether they donate to your nonprofit organization or not. That's the way that goes. And or the families being served. Again, I can talk to them if I want to. Who are you to tell me that I can't talk to people that you associate with? Who do you think you are? Discussing the Childhood Cancer Foundation, because it is from the Childhood Cancer World. Again, there's nothing illegal about that. And other personal information about me. Well, I'm not the one discussing the personal information outright, no more than you post personal information on your social media and elsewhere. If you post something publicly, that makes you open season for open discussion. If you are doing something that should be kept private and you're putting it out there in the public domain, people have a right to have an opinion about what you post publicly. So if you don't want people knowing, then don't post it. There is no expectation of privacy in public. It's just the way that goes. So, okay, discussing the foundation, other personal information about me and or my family. I don't know your family well enough to say anything about them, and quite frankly, I don't care to know them. On your YouTube channel and other social media channels. Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say you only got that one, don't you?
yeah, I've only got this one. And I've only ever talked about this guy on this channel. And again, protected by the First Amendment, freedom of speech, I will say whatever I want as long as it's within reason and I'm not slandering you or your nonprofit organization. Okay. Sending unsolicited and harassing emails to you. Well, I haven't been harassing you. This coming from someone who actually sent me a life-size canvas with his signature on it saying Jer Bear's #1 fan, which I did not ask for. You want to talk about unsolicited? You want to go down that route with me? Okay, then let's go. Or any member of the nonprofit organization team. I don't contact anybody from your nonprofit organization team because they are blind and they don't understand what's really going on. To be a member of your team, they are either confused or they're just dishonest, or maybe both. Making false claims about the nature and purpose of the nonprofit organization. Well, let me just say this for a guy who can always afford to go to Billy Strings concerts, and then go on your social media and literally beg people for money, says a lot about you. Again, if you don't want people knowing that, then maybe you shouldn't put it out there. I mean, that's fair game, isn't it? I mean, if you don't want people knowing you're broke, don't put it out there. And if you are a CEO of a nonprofit organization, why don't you have money? Anyway, it's none of my business. Your financial status should be no one's business, especially mine, because I couldn't give a fuck less if you're broke or rich or whatever. You're still a narcissist at the end of the day. Your actions are unwanted. Well, that's subjective. Inappropriate. Inappropriate would be someone throwing me under the bus and making things up about me that aren't true. And then you jumping on the bandwagon to promote the lies. So you want to talk about inappropriate? Okay. Aggressive? You're goddamn right they're aggressive. Don't fuck with me. Annoying? Well, again, that's subjective. It's annoying because it's antithetical to you and your bullshit and your master manipulation. So yeah, I guess it would be annoying to you. Threatening? Jesus, who have I threatened?
I don't know. Nobody.
I haven't threatened anybody.
Nope.
And have become unbearable to you. Well, your narcissism becomes unbearable to everybody. You're using children with cancer as fashion accessories to doll yourself up into a virtue signal. You're a joke, dude. Unbearable. Your actions also infringe upon my right to remain free from harassment. You know, this sounds a lot like whining. How many times have I been harassed over the course of the past, I don't know, 3-4 years? Dad, Amy, care to elaborate on that? Because
People don't know enough to shut their mouths.
I've been harassed more than enough times over a lie that someone had made up, but you don't see me sending cease and desist letters to people.
No, you've been threatened.
Yeah, I've been threatened, but you don't see me running to the cops. I've had death threats. I've had people mail shit to me in the send shit to me in the mail, including you. But I don't whine about it. I'm still here. I'm not running to the authorities. So this is nothing more than whining to me as far as I'm concerned.
Be a man and show your face.
You have no balls, dude. You have no balls. You have no spine. You don't have guts, because when I tried to make things right with you, this was after my mom passed away. I tried to make things right with you, and being the bigger person, I said, "Hey, look, I know I said some things in the past. Let's try to fix this friendship and try to move forward." You called me on the phone. Actually, I called you on the phone because you invited me to call you on the fucking phone. And I did that with my dad sitting next to me. He heard the conversation, and you had the audacity to tell me, "Well, I can't at this time co-sign you as a friend." What the fuck does that mean? You can't co-sign someone as a friend. I'm not I'm not someone that you can put I'm not a bank. You can't put me on loan and then have the audacity and the temerity to tell me that I don't know what a friend does. That's not what friends do. I've asked you not to. You know what? You don't know what friends do. You don't know what friends do because I didn't mention your name or your nonprofit organization when we started talking again. You asked me not to, so I didn't. I could have been a real asshole and said, no, I can say your name and your nonprofit organization as many fucking times as I want to, and it doesn't matter what you say or what your requests or demands are. It doesn't matter because I'll say it, but I haven't said it. I was trying to be respectful to you. So I mentioned something about, hey, listen, I'm repairing a broken friendship with somebody. And I mentioned it here any number of times. I was really stoked about it actually, because one less enemy. And I was really looking forward to building upon that friendship. Even if it was on the down low, I could still say something indirectly about it here. Nobody would have ever known, because how many other people have nonprofit organizations that I could just as well try to break bread with them and to bury the hatchet? How many other people? Well, it's it's you don't preach to me what a friend is, dude. Don't preach to me at all what a friend is, because right at the fucking outset, you treated me like a liability. And that is not what a friend does. So don't preach to me shit about what a friend does. You don't know what you're talking about. Hello, Melinda Pullion in chat. Happy New Year. And she says, Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year.
And let me see here. Where I'm getting carried away, but I got to figure out where I left off. Right to remain free from harassment. Yeah. Don't whine to me about harassment, dude. As a result of your harassment, I have suffered. And I don't laugh at suffering, by the way, but this is whining. This is more like whining than anything. I don't care that you suffered substantial harm to your nonprofit organization. Really? So my YouTube channel alone single-handedly affected people donating money to your cause? Really? Is that so? Because that's a claim that you would have to demonstrate. And I say that with a bit of skepticism, because no matter how you view it, irrespective of anything that I say on this channel, people are going to donate to your cause or they're not going to donate to your cause. My channel has nothing to do with that. But I appreciate you trying to include me in your little whatever. But that's just not going to work, dude. People are going to donate to you irrespective of what I say on this channel. Again, you're a business. People have a right to voice their opinions and personal experiences about a business. A nonprofit organization is a business in the eyes of the federal government. It's no different. I could just as much say something horrible about my local supermarket or gas station or anything for that matter. It's not grounds to sue. You can't. People have a right to voice their opinion. It doesn't work that way. So if really and truly my channel and my videos had a profound impact on people donating to his charity, do I have that much control over people?
I guess you do.
See, I'm not like you. I'm not a narcissist. I don't control people. I don't start cults and recruit a bunch of people. I mean, what really? It's a cult. If you're calling it a brother and sister, it's a fucking cult, dude. And now you think by changing the language of this, by calling it a community/family, that it's going to change what it is. You know who else called their cult a family? Charles Manson. Charles Manson had a cult and he called them a family, and look what happened. I'm not saying you would lead people to kill. I'm not saying that you would lead people to abuse or kill or do anything, batshit crazy. But as most groups and clubs do, they have a list of people to hate and a list of people to love. And I can almost assure you that in that list of people to hate, I appear in that list of people to hate. Well, we can't talk to Jared Fuller. We can't associate with Jared Fuller. He's one of the bad guys. I can almost guarantee that's what's going on, because I've seen you tell people to don't talk to me. So are you their dad? You tell them what to do? You have control over people like this? This is narcissism 101. This is the direct result of narcissistic personality disorder. Moving on. Emotional and physical stress. Okay, emotional and physical stress. Again, the things I say here have that much of a profound impact on you? Really, dude? You think I'm the only one who would ever have anything negative to say about a nonprofit organization? There are millions of people out there, most of which are probably too afraid to speak out in opposition to you and your garbage. I guess I'm the only one. I guess that puts me at the top of the heap because no one else is going to do it. No one else is brave enough to do it. For my team, family, friends, and the families we serve. Again, they have to make their own separate case. You can't speak for other people. You are not their legal representative and you're not God. You can't speak for them. So, I mean, they have to make their own individual case. If you do not cease and desist the harassment, which it's not harassment, dude. It's not harassment. If you came on YouTube and said some things about me, you could call me a prick, a coward, a liar, whatever you want. I can't sue you. Until such time as you say that I am, like, I don't know, a rapist or a pedophile or something disparaging and something that's not true, then I could sue you. But I haven't said anything like that in that nature about you or your nonprofit organization. Hell, I haven't even gone on record as saying that your nonprofit organization is up to something mysterious, because I wouldn't do that. Anyway, if you do not cease and desist the harassment, I will be forced to take appropriate legal action against you and will seek all available damages and remedies. Well, for someone who claims to not have money, you're sure confident on suing me, aren't you? Because legal representation costs money. Who are you going to get it from? Billy Strings? I know you're a Billy Strings fanboy. Everybody knows that. You think you're up there in rank with Billy Strings? Yeah, Billy Strings is up here, dude. You're down here. You're nowhere near the same level as Billy Strings. I guarantee it. You're just a lost puppy who is chewing on the ankles and pulling on the bootstraps of Billy Strings. So you're a wannabe peon. That's what you are. Any further communication from you will be routed directly to my legal team. Cool. I'll make the coffee. I'll bring the donuts. And by the way, he says at the end, this is a second letter, so you know I am serious. Well, I'm serious when I tell you this. Fuck you and your veiled threats, because they mean jack diddly dog fuck to me. Anyway, I love fan mail. I appreciate fan mail. That's awesome. That's great. But I'm not upset. I'm not threatened. I'm not intimidated. I don't feel any kind of fear from this whatsoever. It is a narcissist who is trying to shut someone up when they call him out for his bullshit. And I'm not losing sleep. I sleep like a baby every day, every night. So, moving on, Dad wanted to talk about something that we discussed yesterday at the kitchen table over coffee, and we agreed before I went live to talk about this. So we were talking about life and death, and as I have talked about life and death any number of times on this channel, I'm often asked my views and opinions on the fear of death, because I know that there are lots of friends of mine who they had this inconsolable fear of death. And my thoughts on that are, and I asked them, I said, well, if you're so afraid of death, I want you to think about the year 1911. And they say, well, what does 1911 have to do with this? I said, well, were you alive in 1911? And the answer usually is no. I don't have friends who are over 100 years old. I say, so you weren't alive in 1911. Does that inconvenience you or bother you in any way that you didn't exist in 1911? And they said no. I said, okay, then you solved your own dilemma, because if you're not bothered by any time before your birth, then how are you going to be bothered by the time you're not here after you die? It's all the same thing. And then they stop and think like, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. So I hope in some way that it helps move that along a little bit, and it helps kind of diminish the fear of death. Listen, I'm not stoked about death and dying. I don't want to die, but I know I'm going to someday, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I'm not going to waste a lot of time worrying about what I can't control. Instead, what I would like to do is focus on the time I do have here and do what I can here while I'm still alive, and make the best of this life as best as I can, because I know it's not going to last forever. That is the driving force behind getting up every day and searching for tomorrow, and looking for tomorrow, and the incentive, not only waking up every day, but getting out and doing things that I want to do to help other people. That's the reward. Don't worry about death and dying. Worry about that later when that time comes, because when it happens, you're not going to know it anyway. You will have no awareness of it. Um, it's just that simple. The second part of that conversation is we live our lives in reverse, actually, when you think about it, because when you're born, you're an infant. You have to wear diapers, and then you grow into a toddler, then a child, then a preteen, then a teen, a young adult, then an adult, and then eventually you just get decrepit. You get old. And then when it comes to a point where you can't care for yourself, that you depend on other people to care for you, your life is being lived in reverse, because you're going right back to a child mentality. You're going to wear diapers again. And this is just, I'm not speaking broadly. This is not a blanket statement about all situations, because people die unexpectedly. Accidents do happen. But I'm saying, if you live a well fulfilled life all the way till the end, yeah, you go back to wearing diapers. You can't speak. Um, you can't put together a cogent thought of your own. Yeah, you go back to wearing diapers and people take care of you until you die. So really, we're living our lives in reverse the older we get. We're just gradually going back, or should I say, going back to the start position. The only thing that's different is that we're older. Time has taken its toll, and we've grown older.
Sorry about the background noise, if you guys can hear.
Yeah, it's my dog. My dogs are playing. And there was something else that Dad mentioned, which kind of made me think too a little bit. Now my mom was cremated. She had a viewing. She had a funeral. They had the viewing and everything. They had services for her. Then afterwards, she was cremated. And my dad says, "Well, I wonder what they do with the casket after the person's cremated." And it kind of made me think too, like, yeah, that's a good question. I wonder what actually happens, because my mom's fiance paid for everything. He paid for the casket. He paid for, everything, the services, everything. And mom passed away. Okay, the casket was paid for. The cremation was paid for. But what happens to the casket after the person is cremated? And that is a good question. And it's something that I would actually like to know.
If anyone knows, please reply.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching in the comment section, which I don't think there's a chat replay on this, but if you are currently watching and if you have an answer to this, please, I'd be happy to know what actually happens, because Dad and I were contemplating this. We were talking about this, like, That's a good question because I don't know. I honestly do not know what happens to the caskets. Um, because if the person's cremated, the casket, I mean,
I guess like Crystal said, they run them out
yeah, I'm
at a
thinking
cheaper price.
they run them out. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. They would probably have to change the lining and
Yeah,
the bedding and everything in them. I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
You know.
I wouldn't want to die in someone else's casket.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be dead anyway. I won't give a fuck. But yeah, I think they do.
I'm being cremated in myself.
Yeah, roll you up and smoke you when you die, huh? Yeah, but
Mama, I'll roll you up.
but it is a good question. I mean, I after Dad brought that up, it's like, yeah, you make a good point. Um, and Dad was gonna contact the funeral director, where Mom's viewing was, where her services were, and kind of talk about that a little bit, or at least find out what happens. Um, but yeah, excuse me. It is a question that I kind of wondered because no one ever really talks about that. Like I've never heard anything like that before. Like what happens to the casket if the person had a viewing and then they're cremated later?
No, they
Now, see,
run
that's the way we're
no,
gonna
no,
have that.
might-
We're gonna have the
no.
viewing and then
because I know your mom cash was paid for.
Yeah, the casket was paid for. Yeah,
Okay, what do they do with the casket if it's paid for and the person was cremated?
right.
I said they probably do it. Crystal said,
I'm thinking
rent 'em out
they probably run. Yeah,
at a cheaper price.
run it out at a
And
cheaper
But you
price.
have to run it.
See,
He paid for it. It's paid in full.
Yeah,
The casket. So
yeah, because I think there was a life insurance policy,
I'll have to get a hold of Kevin.
but
I know.
I'm not sure.
If
I'm
he
not
did
sure.
Rent it or if he, you know,
I think there was a life insurance policy, but I don't know. See, I don't know the financial side of it.
it makes you think though.
Yeah, it does make me think, but I mean, I don't know the financial side of that. Like, I don't know what Mom and Kevin had, how they had it arranged. Uh, because I know that Mom was added to Kevin's 401k, but I don't know the financial side of, Mom's gone, who pays for this. I don't know how they had it set up, but I'm more interested in like what Dad said. What happens to the casket after the person has been cremated? And I guess it makes sense that they would rent it out probably at a cheaper price, but
yeah.
the casket's been paid for. So
'Cause see, I know that's what happened with my dad.
right,
They were gonna give me his casket,
yeah. And what are you gonna do with a casket?
and they're gonna show it, or they're gonna put it on my account for $50. Where Dad may have paid 200 for it.
So like when you die, that would be the casket that you would use. So they would keep it on holding.
I'm starting all over again.
But I see that I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
I'm not going through the cemetery where I was gonna be buried.
Yeah.
No, because I'm gonna be cremated.
It's shit. I haven't decided what's gonna happen to my remains after I'm dead and gone. Shit, just put me in a hefty bag and kick me down to the fucking river. Watch me roll down and float away, you know. I'm not gonna care. I'll be dead. Yeah. You know what? If I decide that I want to be buried, put a 6-pack on my grave. Put a 6-pack and a stack of journal books on my grave.
Well, you know what I told my son?
What?
Put a joint in there and some wax in there. And
Yeah.
it'll be all good.
Yeah. Put I would say put a gold ribbon for childhood cancer, but I'm not a gold ribbon fanatic. I'm not into that. Just put my nickname, put Jer Bear on it. Here lies Jer Bear, the foul mouthed motherfucker who couldn't keep his opinions to himself. Hey.
There's always one.
Someone has to. I mean, someone's got to speak up and say something, especially when it's in regard to atrocities involving children. Somebody's got to speak up and say something, and I'll be your huckleberry. I don't care. But yeah, Dad and I, we have those deep conversations. Like yesterday was probably one of the better conversations we've had. And it helps. Talking about those things helps because it takes the edge off of a lot of worry. you know. um Dad and I talk, like, and that was the first time we had spoken in quite a long time about deep issues like that, where we just sit at the kitchen table over coffee and talk about things that are deep and meaningful and important. And it's good to have conversations like that. It's one of those things where, if you still have a parent to do that with, then yeah, by all means, take advantage of that. Um, but it's I don't know, for me, this is it's still very new, it's still very fresh. And it's different having just one parent now. You know what I mean? Like I'm so used to having both parents for so long that if dad doesn't know, mom does. If mom doesn't know, dad does. But now that mom's gone, I just got the one parent. I've got just dad. And that, dad's always enough. And mom was always enough. Both parents were always enough. But if, having one parent, the one parent is still enough. It's when both parents are gone, who do you talk to? Who do you turn to for advice? Who do you turn to for suggestions and answers to questions that you may have? Yeah, who do you turn to? There's no one there to talk to when they're gone. So, like, mom and I always talked about this too. After all my aunts and uncles passed away, her brothers and sisters, she had no one to talk to. So it was difficult for her to relate to her children in the way that she could relate to her brothers and sisters, because before she had children, she had her brothers and sisters, she had her parents. So mom couldn't talk to me and my brother about things that happened before we were born because we weren't alive. We weren't born yet. So mom only had the people from her past, and all of those people had died. So I understand where she felt alone. And I can imagine that she was alone for the longest time. But she was still grateful to have her children. She always told me that she would rather die before she buried her own kids, which was very profound to me. Um, and my mom and my brother almost died together. His mom was giving birth to my brother, and I almost died from cancer 35 years ago. This March will be 35 years. Um, so I mean, there were a couple of close calls with us kids. So, but even still, in the end, mom said she would rather die before she buries her own children, and that's what happened. She actually did pass away before she buried her own kids. So she got that wish out of life. Um, but I will say that even at the funeral, mom, and there were quite a few people, lots of friends that I wasn't expecting. Um, yes, yes. Dan and Georgianne from 103.9 The Fox. Dan's a really good buddy of mine. I was shocked that he and Georgianne were there, and I told him, it was a couple weeks ago. It was the final Monday flashback out at Billy's for the year, and I said, "Look, I just want to say again, because I feel like I'm not stressing this enough. I appreciate you and Georgianne being there for me, for my mom, and we'll do anything we can for you, Jared. We appreciate you, and you know, we're going to be there for you as much as we can." And that was really just, it meant a lot to me, and it still does. But oh yeah, Georgianne, she says, they did an excellent job with the makeup. Your mom, it looks like she's just sleeping. She looks natural. Like she doesn't, because a lot of places like that, with the cosmetic side of things, they overdo it where they don't look real. But how they did it, I mean, it looked natural. Mom did look like she was sleeping, but she wasn't sleeping. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things. And as I was pointing out also yesterday, Dad, if you remember that part of the conversation where I said that mom was the luckiest person in the room, and she was the luckiest person in that whole room, because never again will she have aches, pains, worries, enemies. she won't have any of the negative anymore. And I think for me that helped get through it, helped me get through it. And I still have my good and bad days. I think about mom. There's a song that reminds me of mom. I see, something that is the color purple because purple was my mom's favorite color. I'll break down in tears. Um, I'll just sit like just the other day, I was sitting at the kitchen table and I was looking out my kitchen window and there's, blue jays flying back and forth. And that made me think of mom, started crying. I see a beautiful sunset. I start crying because I think of mom. So it's the little things that can make them mean the most. It's the even the most minuscule things, the things that most people take for granted, are the very things that will trigger that. And uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Sorry, I thought that was Whitey coming out fucking
Oh. But it's the little things that can set that off. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good, bro. It's all good. No, he's good. You're good. Not a problem. Is that Luna?
Yeah.
I can't tell because I'm not wearing my glasses and
That's Luna Boona.
Oh, lunatic. But yeah. No apologies necessary, bro. You're good. And I talked to Dad about, I said, you want to do a Sunday video update again? He says, hell yeah, I want to do a Sunday video update. I love doing the Sunday video update. Okay, I'll set the time for 3:00 as we normally do. If you're new to this channel, by the way, I go live 3:00 Eastern time, and I'm here for roughly about an hour until about 4:00. And we just, I talk about random things, and I'll have other people join in on the conversation, and you can join in on the conversation in chat. You have to at least be subscribed to my channel for a week before you can leave a message in my chat log, and you'll be on your best behavior, or I'll give you the fuck off boot into purple oblivion, and I'll go about my day. Yeah, and it's always because Amy is a mod in my chat, I am also a mod in chat, so one of us will catch you if you're gonna come in being stupid. Now, this person chewing off my toenail. It sounds trolly, but it is a YouTube channel nonetheless. So I'm not really gonna make a big stink about that. They did wish me a happy new year. They didn't say anything that was out of line or, just being a prick or whatever. They wish me a happy new year. We'll go with that. I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, they'll be gone if they want to be stupid, and that goes for anybody, not just this person who goes by chewing off my toenail. And I've never, I can't say I've never chewed off a toenail. Probably when I was little, probably when I was a baby, I could bend my leg up to my mouth and suck on my toes. But chewing off my own toenail, no. It's a funny. I'm laughing at the name of the channel. It's funny, chewing off my toenail. Hey, if you're that flexible, if you're a contortionist and you can chew off your own toenail, more power to you. I don't think that would be very healthy or wise, but if you can do that, more power to you. It's funny. We do have some upcoming plans too. This coming Saturday, the 13th, we will be at the Masonic Lodge in Owasso for Superstar Championship Wrestling. We got the tickets for that. And last week I was in Saginaw at the Dow Event Center. I got tickets for the 80th annual Elf Carafe Shrine Circus. They will be at the Dow Event Center in Saginaw from January 19th to the 21st. So yeah, I got upcoming plans. Really excited about going and having a great time. And hanging out with friends. I'll probably see my buddy Teddy, whom of which, by the way, was also at my mom's services, Teddy the Terror. Yep, he showed up at mom's services. But yeah, so this Saturday we'll be in Owasso, and then on Friday, I think, yeah, next Friday, the 19th, I'll be in Saginaw at the Shrine Circus. Tickets are, I was I was at the Dow last week at the ticket office, at the ticket booth. And the lady was really super sweet. She was really nice. And she says, "Well, the tickets are like 25 bucks a piece." I said, "25 bucks a piece?" I said, "Holy mackerel." I said, "I miss the good old days." I said, "When my dad used to take us kids to the circus in Saginaw, it was what, 5, 10 bucks a ticket?"
$5 a ticket for your kids.
Yeah.
Sign up.
And now it's $25 a piece. I imagine the kids' tickets are cheaper, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But
$12.50.
I mean $25. It and that's not the by the way, that's not the Dow Event Center setting the prices of the tickets. That's the circus setting the price of the tickets. It's just like when WWE comes to Saginaw to the Dow. Um, WWE sets the prices of those tickets, not the Dow Event Center.
Yeah.
But, however, they lease the building. They have to lease the building.
They lease the building, but we still got to pay for parking.
Yeah, we pay for well, we pay taxes. The Dow Event Center shows up on our property taxes.
No, we're not.
We contribute.
But you still got to
Um,
pay to get in. The
Yeah,
gate.
yeah, you still got to pay to admission to get in. You got to pay to park. I don't know. We're being double taxed, I think. I think we're being double fucking taxed.
That's what it's been. Dad's been
Um,
saying.
Yeah, I mean, what a joke. But hey, it's the Dow Event Center. I love the Dow Event Center. I love going to the Shrine Circus. It's 2 hours of, you know what, forget about life for a while. Go have fun, watch some clowns, see some animals, which they don't do a lot of animals nowadays, I've noticed. They've really cut down on the animal acts, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm perfectly okay with that. Um, they have a lot of acrobatic stuff, which I like the jump roping and the trapeze and the motorcycle on the wire and that steel cage where all the bikes are circling around inside and missing each other. Um, I think they call that the Globe of Death, I think is the name of that. And they got the Wheel of Destiny where it's like they got the wheels on both ends and the things come off like this and then it rotates and then you've got people jump roping blindfold as the wheel's spinning. It's pretty cool. Though that stuff I enjoy. I love it. And of course, they got the DMX lighting, which the lighting helps with the spectacle of the show and it adds emphasis, which is really cool, so I enjoy the Shrine Circus. You're never too old to go to the circus. They gear it towards the younger audiences because they have to keep it kid friendly. Of course, that I understand. But when we go to the circus, we see 80-year-old couples sitting in the crowd. You're never too old or too young to enjoy the circus. The circus is fun. And it goes to a good cause. So and that's the other plus side of that. So I love going to the Shrine Circus. I like going to SCW, Superstar Championship Wrestling. I've had the Mighty Sabbath here on a Sunday video update once before. I told him he could join me so he could do a little promotional stuff, which I don't mind. Use my platform to promote your stuff, which is great. And I haven't seen the Mighty Sabbath in quite some time. I messaged him on Facebook, and I haven't heard from him, but he's been really sick. And we wish Mighty Sabbath the best, and I hope he's feeling better by this coming Saturday. Although I don't think he's going to be performing. I don't think he's going to be.
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to be in the ring. But I can't say. I can't say for sure. I don't want to say he is or isn't. But I know he's been dealing with some health issues, like he's got some stuff going on in his lungs or whatever. And whether or not Sabbath is watching this, hey, I hope you get feeling better soon, buddy. We miss you. Come back out here. We'll talk about wrestling and we'll drink some Hawaiian punch like we always do. And it's a lot of fun having him around. And he gets so enthusiastic. He gets so enthusiastic about wrestling, and he's a stand-up guy. I really like him a lot. He's pretty cool. And I did help him set up one of his shows, and that was a job.
The lighting and the
Yeah,
ring
the lighting, and I set up the wrestling ring, and the lighting was really nothing. I mean, He's got DMX lighting, but he doesn't have like the DMX controller or the DMX cables, which I had suggested to him. But that's just a suggestion. At the end of the day, it's his company. He can do what he wants. But to make it, to give it a more better feel, like the lighting spectacle, I have suggested like a DMX controller and some DMX cables. I even offered, I said, look, man, you can borrow my DMX controller and my cables if you want. It's not a problem. And he says, thanks, but I'll pass. Okay. All right. Not a problem. It's not a big deal. It's your show, but I figured, I would offer. But yeah, I've rambled, but we're going to be busy this week, on Saturday, the 13th, and on Friday. So we're going to be in Owasso on Saturday and Saginaw on Friday. So, tickets are still available, by the way, for the Shrine Circus in Saginaw. They will be in Flint from the 12th until, well, it escapes me. I want to say the 15th, but it escapes me. I did see it. Let me see if I can find it on Facebook here. Let's see. Dort Financial Center. I'm going to look this up for you guys because I know there may be some viewers watching from Flint, or Genesee County or whatever, or anybody could be watching from anywhere, not, just Flint or Genesee County. But let me see. Okay, the Shrine Circus, the 12th until the 15th. I was right. Cool. Let's see. Okay. Awesome. So we are down to the last 8 minutes of the Sunday video update. That hour always goes by so fast. I thank you all for stopping by and watching and indulging me for the next little. There's my dad. There's Dad with his long beard and his goatee. Someone actually, a child actually had mistaken him for Santa Claus. Right, it was right before Christmas, wasn't it? They had mistaken him for Santa Claus, which I thought was funny. That's right. That's what it was. They were at Walmart in Owasso and some.
Walked through the door and this little boy saying, "Mama, Santa Claus."
That's cute. Mama, look, Santa Claus. What? A skinny Santa Claus. A tall, skinny Santa Claus. No, yeah, that's cute. I'd be thrilled. Some kid thought that I was Santa Claus. That'd be kind of cute. Just, Mom, look, Santa Claus. And then they get all excited thinking that it's the actual Saint Nick. No, my daddy would be Saint Wayne. But we are down to the final. We're closing in on the 4:00 hour. After this, I will be going to watch the live stream over on a channel called The Line with Matt Dillahunty. And because I watch that every Sunday, or at least I try to watch it every Sunday. And then the Sunday flashback tonight, the first Sunday flashback of 2024, it's on 103.9 The Fox. I should put a link to the Sunday flashback, or at least the radio station. And then you just click on listen live. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the chat. Listen to the Fox Sunday flashback tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I'm going to...
Can you give us a date and a time on the Shrine Circus again, please, sir?
Okay, so the Shrine Circus, the first night is January 19th. The first show is at 7:00 at night. And then Saturday and Sunday will be the last day they'll be there in Saginaw.
Okay. Crystal was just asking.
Yeah.
Because she would like to get her and Jay a ticket.
Okay.
And she wanted to know the price of the ticket.
They start at $25.
Hold on. Crystal, come here. Jared's talking to you too.
No, you're not bothering me. You're not a bother.
You're asking about the Shrine Circus, and now he's
They start out at $25 a piece.
Okay. Depending on where you sit. Is that it?
Yeah, depending where I think general admission's $25. I
When
think
is it?
Friday, the 19th till the 21st. So it's on Friday and then again on Saturday and then on Sunday. Sunday's the last
Where are
day.
you guys going?
Friday.
Is there still tickets available? You
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
That we would be able to ride with you guys?
I've already got the tickets.
Well, I mean, for me and him.
She wants to go. She has
I
a
wanted to go.
Sure.
We
They
rode
want
with
to
you.
go.
Yeah.
There'll be enough room, wouldn't
There
there?
should
I
be.
got
Actually, I could take my truck.
Yeah, there should be. But then you got to pay for parking, which by the way, I found out that in order to pay to park, I also have to use my card.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's cashless. They don't. The Dow Event Center is cashless. Yes. You've always had to pay to park, but you have to use your card, or yeah, like a debit card, credit card. Yep. The Dow Event Center went cashless. So if you wanted to get a souvenir, gotta have a card.
Oh my god.
Yep. You wanna buy food, gotta have a card. They don't take cash anymore. Or what they do is if you have cash, they'll put it on a card that you can use in the building. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, but yeah, I'd like to get tickets to go with you guys.
Yeah. I don't know how much they would be like on the day of. I'm not.
Well, I have I can pay online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, whatever, but-
I wouldn't do it. Tell me what happened last time you paid online.
I didn't pay online.
No.
I've never ordered tickets online.
Can you
So
do Sam's Club?
Remember that one day that
So,
lady paid for it?
yeah. So what they're talking about is WWE Wrestling came to the Dow Event Center one year, and the person who bought the tickets, they ordered them online through Ticketmaster, and she didn't get the tickets the day of the before the event, so she had to go up to the window, the booth, and say, "Hey, I ordered these on the internet. I ordered them through Ticketmaster, and I have not received them." So then they had to issue the tickets that she should have gotten. They had to issue them at the day of the event. And I wouldn't recommend, but that's just personal opinion. But I wouldn't.
Where'd you get 'em then?
You can get them right at the Dow. Yeah, you can get them right at the Dow.
Just like you always do. Just got
Yeah.
your card.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much they would be the day of the event. I'm not sure. I can't quote you on that.
I think you have 'em at like Walmart or Sam's Club or.
I don't think they have them at Walmart. No.
They used to sell 'em at Myers and shit.
Now that they went cashless.
Yeah, they're cashless now. Yep. Now a lot of the venues are going cashless nowadays. I don't know why, but I think it just makes it easier, the transactions.
Thanks, Joe.
Yep. Not a problem. And then you got to consider if like say for example, if you ride up there with us to get the tickets, the seats aren't going to be you're going to be in a different
I
spot,
know.
right? See, if they would have been purchased like consecutively one after the other, then
Then we would be able to-
that would have
yeah.
been a guaranteed. We all would have been, but yeah. And of course, you can call them. You can call the Dow Event Center box office. I can find the number for
Oh,
you,
that would be great.
and just to find out, but it is 4:00. My name is Jared Fuller, aka Jerry Bear. That's my nickname. Wasn't it was chosen, but it wasn't. But I think everybody knows why my name is Jerry Bear. If you've known me this long, and if you've been subscribed to this channel long enough, you know. But anyway, for Dad and Amy, my brother and his girlfriend who are off camera, we'll see ya. Have a good week. Get out there and live your life, and don't be afraid of death and dying, man. Just live your life. Have fun.
Have a good New Year. Bye.
Yeah. It's the first Sunday video of the new year. Man, well, I'll be back. And and I'm definitely I'm sure I'll be getting some more fan mail like this, and I'll be sure to piss some more people off because that's what I do. It's fun. That's why they call me Jer Bear. Oh, no, we all know why. But anyway, I love y'all, and I'll see you later. Take care, guys. Have a good one.